Hello. So apparently yesterday was the first day of Pisces or Mercury retrograde in Pisces or something like that. Okay. But we got 6-6 right here. And I saw a page of swords as well while shuffling, so somebody could have been educating themselves in certain ways and, kind of getting to a more kind of joyful expression, okay? Resting and taking time for yourself, okay? But, it's interesting, I was waking up this morning and, just having, like, a certain type of repetition in my head, but I was, like, kind of having, let's see, what's the word? I'm still waking up. Oh my god. Inspiration. Determination. Something around those lines. But, yeah, it was kind of interesting, so I was, like, really kind of, desiring to move forward. After yesterday, I was, like, really taking a break. But then I also looked at the clock and it was 5:55, so there could be, a lot of changes coming in. But somebody could be having strength within certain partnerships and team dynamics. Okay, could have navigated through different illusionary situations. Okay, and somebody could be creating a stability for themselves when it comes to making difficult decisions or kind of like navigating through different crossroads. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. Alright, you could be getting to a position where you're confident within yourself and your abilities, what it is that you're forming and creating. Okay, but like I said before, you could be having strength within partnerships. I don't know, my eye like started itching like crazy just now, so whatever that means. Check into it for me. Anyway. Whoa. It's a lot of cards. I'm gonna take them. Okay, what? There's a lot of cards, but let's see. What do we need to know for today? Why do birds sing so gay? What's beautiful in love? Yeah, that song could be relevant, and it's kind of like I was hearing the birds sing and thinking that song. So anyway, let's see. Let's see about that. Okay. All right. So, if you're seeing this, you could be creating a balance when it comes to different outlooks of loss. Okay, you could be focused more on certain work that you've been putting into a situation and maturing in different levels where you can feel more confident with what it is that you're creating. Okay, we got the Magician and the Eight of Wands, so you could be taking action in a way that is ouch, sorry, my neck, direct and to the point. Okay, you could be moving forward with some type of action or communication. Okay, there could have been certain anxiety based on focusing on what it is that you're desiring of, but once you do, you could be recognizing that you are moving forward towards emotional fulfillment and justice. Okay, this could be within your home, your family, and your relationships, and you could be knowing what steps you're wanting to take, having a logical awareness of the action that's meant to be going into a situation, and you could be recognizing that you're leading yourself towards success and victory while also, you know, walking away from what isn't bringing you that emotional fulfillment. Okay, you could be really kind of paying attention to the divine guidance that you're receiving, and meeting up with complementary and compatible energies. Okay, and you could be recognizing what it is that you're, you know, wanting to dedicate yourself to, what you could be prepared for, and, you know, really kind of stabilizing your foundation in certain ways. Okay. And you could be getting different aspects of cooperation when it comes to your own skill and your ability. Really kind of mastering what it is that you're putting into a situation, what type of efforts you're physically bringing into your life, and you could be feeling really inspired. Oops. Okay, you could be recognizing what had been missing in your life and having a greater sense of truth and clarity. Oops. Alright. I don't know why those cards were in reverse, but they're not anymore. So yeah, you could be stabilizing yourself when it comes to initiating towards a new beginning and looking at things in a more carefree way. You could be having a strength and confidence when it comes to facing certain difficult decisions and really kind of wanting to surrender into, you know, expressing your desired, you know, emotional expression, basically. You could be surrendering into what you feel is important that you could have, you know, kind of kept to yourself. But there could be some type of, loving message that you're wanting to express, and you could be feeling confident within this. Excuse me. We got the Ace of Cups right there. And the 10 of Pentacles. How cute. So you could be recognizing that you're leading yourself towards, you know, a new beginning with emotional fulfillment, but also leading yourself towards your long-term goals. You could have been putting a lot of different types of work into a situation, and you could be finding that you are really kind of getting to a desired position within this. Oh, look at that. Even more confirmation right there. Oh, look at that. So, the Four of Wands and the Temperance card. Okay. Both of these are kind of talking about your environment. Excuse me. And, so you could be really kind of getting to a more celebratory outlook when it comes to the structure in your life and the environment that you are pouring into. You'd be really feeling like things are aligning from multiple angles, and you could have, you know, a greater sense of joy or celebration when it comes to, you know, the relationships, your home, your family, community, and, you know, knowing what it is that you're meant to put into a situation and what you're needing to take out. Okay, we got the Queen of Cups. Okay. You could be getting to a more emotionally connected position within yourself and recognizing toxic or unhealthy energies, or, you know, manipulative situations that you could have been placed within previously, and you could be feeling like you are, you know, really moving forward in a way where you are receiving what it is that you're also putting out there, instead of dealing with, you know, trickery. You could be knowing that the efforts that you're putting into a situation are also what you're receiving back. Okay. Oh, look at that. We got the Star and the Nine of Pentacles right here. So you could be, and I read that as the Nine of Cups initially. So those are both little star cards. Anyway, but yeah, so you could be getting to a, you know, celebratory position, like I said, but, you know, moving forward towards what you feel inspired by, what you're feeling hopeful within. And you could be really having the confidence within yourself in order to bring this into your life as you align with your higher self. You could be, you know, no longer putting the efforts or, let me see, not the efforts, but, you know, having influence based on outside parties, but more of, you know, aligning with your own truer expression and getting more confident and comfortable within it. Okay, you could be, we got the Knight of Swords, ready to kind of move forward. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Let's get some. So you could be moving forward quickly with some type of offer or a greater sense of worth when it comes to, you know, closing out cycles of pain and negativity. Okay. Instead of focusing on different conflict, you could be really kind of centering yourself and holding your vision as you navigate through these certain difficult changes. There's the Nine of Cups. Okay, so Nine of Cups and the Two of Wands. There could be this awareness that you are, you know, moving forward into a position where you can be, you know, emotionally expressive, not holding yourself back, knowing that you're leading yourself towards, you know, emotional fulfillment, and you can be making more intentional plans at this time instead of just focusing on, you know, the difficulty of situations. You could be, you know, more anticipating what it is that you're wanting to bring in, okay, and what you're desiring to create and form, okay. Okay. And we got the King of Cups. So you can be really getting to a position of confidence within the awarenesses that you form, your, you know, energetic and emotional expression. And you can be really feeling like you are creating the momentum you need to navigate through, you know, previous pain and heartbreak, and restrict yourself from, you know, situations that you're no longer wanting to open yourself up to. Okay, so there could have been certain truths or awarenesses that you were, excuse me, either keeping to yourself or, you know, pain that you're putting on yourself. But at this point, you could be in a position where you're no longer allowing for those undesired feelings to take the forefront. Oh, how cute. And we got the World and the Four of Swords. So you could definitely be moving into a new beginning with a greater sense of ease, you know, really having healed certain outlooks. And you could be integrating these into a new beginning. Okay, okay. What do birds sing? Right. Okay, we get with the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. You can be really leading yourself into a new chapter, aligning with your intuition, and recognizing that you're moving forward into certain partnerships and relationships that you, you know, can dedicate yourself to. Okay, you could be feeling like you've learned what you needed. Okay, to assert yourself more intentionally and navigate through different illusionary situations. Okay, so instead of feeling unsure of what action to take, you could be really feeling confident with how it is that you're navigating. Okay, and which direction or choice that you're choosing. Oh, how cute. And this could have been something that you've been, you know, desiring of for some time, but holding your position within. Excuse me. And but at this point we got the Knight of Cups and the Lovers. You could be really, I'll just leave that there for a second. You could be really kind of moving forward, following your heart, and making more loving choices for yourself and other relationships, or others in relationships. But you know, following your heart and, you know, being more openly loving. Okay. All right, look at that. And you could be really kind of knowing that you're, you know, lining with your true path. Let me get the Six of Cups again right there. Moving in a more healed way, facing your fears, and looking at life through a more joyful lens. Okay, you could be using your discernment and really kind of moving into a true alignment, having navigated through different transformative awarenesses and kind of ready to stay true to what you've been made aware of. Okay. All right. And you could be, you know, kind of really moving forward towards a more celebrated outlook and feeling inspired and purposeful as far as moving forward towards what it is that you're desiring to have come into your life. Okay, both these cards right here are about, you know, receiving something right now, but also anticipation. So you could be really kind of having your eyes set on what it is that you know is meant to be coming in, and getting into receiving mode. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, it could have been that you were, you know, taking some time to yourself and going inward and isolating in different ways to get to a more confident position, but you could be definitely moving forward towards what you know is your, you know, aligned path. Okay. Let me see. What do birds sing? Let's see. Okay. I don't know what to do. Okay. You could be aware that there are false energies in your in your energy. Okay, you could be kind of recognizing we have this copycat dynamic going on. You could be seeing how other people are falsifying themselves in certain ways, but we have the Lover right there. You could be, you know, getting to a more confident position with how it is that you're, you know, leading yourself, regardless of, you know, the falsities that other people are bringing into a situation. Okay. You could be, you know, dealing with certain narcissistic outlooks or dynamics, and, you know, not wanting to align with that. Okay. You could be paying attention to what is magnetizing you and feeling more determined to lead yourself more intentionally towards, you know, what it is that you truly want. Okay. And you could be wanting to kind of, let me see, initiate when it comes to a, what could be feeling like a magical bond. Okay. Yeah. You can be, you know, somebody could be wanting to present themselves. Okay. For some type of desired union. Okay. So there could be this awareness that somebody's wanting to, you know, bring someone else into their life in order to move forward towards their desired goal. Okay. Somebody's no longer playing when it comes to situations that have been projected upon them. They could be paying more attention to their intuition and their emotional awareness instead of kind of setting themselves up in a trap that's leading them towards, you know, feeling like a victim or being stuck in a sorrowful or sad type of dynamic. Okay, somebody could be realizing that there are other people or energies that are trying to bring in falsities with the intent to hurt or harm. Okay, and somebody's just kind of staying more optimistic about, you know, expressing themselves in a loving way. Okay, instead of focusing on the negativity, somebody could be focusing more on their hopes and their wishes of what it is that they're wanting to bring in, or how it is that they're wanting to present themselves, like I said, regardless of, you know, what negative influences they might be surrounded by. Okay, we have secret collaboration, dark alliance. Okay, but you could be getting to you know, sense of peace, harmony, and calm, not allowing for other people's negative intentions, right, to dictate how it is that you feel, what it is that you're doing, or how you are navigating. Okay, we got the collective, and then we also have third wheel, third party type of thing. So you could be kind of recognizing what type of energies are really there for you and supportive of you, and which ones are false and just kind of pretending that they're there for you. Okay, well, you know, let me see, pretending they're there for you while really kind of focusing on what it is that they're getting out of a situation. Okay, so it's like you could be recognizing the difference between, you know, true positive influence and somebody that's that doesn't really have your back in the right way, right? So it's kind of like, just with this image, you know, he's grabbing her butt, but he's got his arm around her, you know, she doesn't know about this, and she doesn't know about that, or she knows, and she doesn't care. Anyway, so yeah, so somebody could be kind of recognizing where certain energies lie, you know, what is really there for them in a truly supportive way, and who is there just kind of to take, you know, what it is that they're desiring of from this situation. Okay, all right, so somebody could be really focused more on you know, true unconditional love and supportive dynamics that they're no longer questioning or feeling separate or different from. Okay, all right, so there are certain adjustments and changes that somebody could be making, that you could be making, but it's bringing you to a greater sense of contentment, happiness, and gratitude, and feeling more secure, not only within yourself, but within your relationships and the energy that is being brought into a situation. So somebody, you could be really feeling empowered at this time, and you could be knowing that you have the strength to get through situations, even if there are others who are trying to block you or harm and poison your, you know, success. You can be recognizing that you have the power and the strength to, you know, overcome the difficulty. We got Libra and Capricorn. So you could be wanting to be, you know, diplomatic and peaceable, romantic, charming, easygoing, and sociable. But you could be also wanting to, you know, be practical and patient with what you know is coming in. Okay, so there could be this balance. Hold on, my nose is bugging. There could be this balance that you're creating that's also helping for you to initiate with the true desired momentum. Okay, all right. There could be some type of union that you're recognizing. There were, you know, interference or hindering, okay, towards trying to block this union from occurring. But as you, you know, align and ascend in the way that you know that you're meant to, you could be really, you know, opening yourself up to a true confidant and ally, and no longer allowing for other people's energy or actions to hinder or block, you know, what you know is meant to be coming in. It's like as you align and ascend for yourself, there's this, you know, type of obvious next step type of dynamic that, you know, you could be stepping into. Okay. It's so weird. My nose wasn't doing anything until I started this reading, so somebody's got a runny nose. Anyway, so you could be kind of moving forward towards, you know, what is, you know, true abundance in your life, okay? A lucky season, and you could be really kind of moving out of situations. Look at that. You could be avoiding or escaping from, you know, negative trash talk and gossip and lies, and recognizing that you're aligning with, you know, true source. Okay. We got sweet, compassionate, innocent. Okay, so you could be really moving forward joyfully, no longer holding yourself back, and kind of recognizing that you are in some type of otherworldly position, instead of confining yourself to the materialistic or negative outlooks of the world. You could be seeing things from a different perspective. And look at that, we got Leo. You could be really getting to a more confident and courageous position. Okay, looky. You're ready to receive what you feel is, you know, a reward, something that's bringing in a greater sense of optimism and adventure. And you can be really moving forward towards your true destined path. Okay, you could be, you know, really embracing, like, embracing what you know is meant for you, where other people have been trying to restrict or bind you from receiving. You really kind of knowing that you are, you know, entering into a position where you're right where you're meant to be. Oops. Okay. And then I'm going to go. Like I said, I'm still waking up, but I was like, guided to do a reading. My nose. Okay. And you could be wanting to move forward into friendly contracts with people who are honest and loyal. Okay. You could be, you know, really wanting to focus more on how it is that you could help others, and you know, not just for personal gain. Okay, you can be ready to, you know, move together as an individual within larger groups, instead of feeling that you are feeling isolated or abandoned within certain groups that you may already be a part of. Okay, so you can be really feeling more confident with moving forward, you know, in your own way, like no longer, let me see, questioning or asking for permission on how to behave, or, you know, what type of efforts to make. Okay, but feeling confident with your own personal form of expression. Okay, you could have previously felt isolated based on certain spiritual gifts or awarenesses, and there could be there could be certain recognition that there was some type of intrusive energy previously. Excuse me. You could have felt like there was something that was trying to keep you down. But at this point, you could be creating a balance with, you know, what efforts that you're needing to take, and really kind of leading yourself, being more assertive and dominant, instead of allowing for people with false intentions, or who are pretending to be, you know, who is guiding you. Okay, so you could be kind of recognizing that there were, you know, false personas that were keeping you in toxic negative or karmic attachments and energies, and they could have been taking away from, you know, what your own, you know, truth was, based on being, you know, pretentious or superficial. And at this point, you could be recognizing that you're wanting to create for a more kind of forward moving or future oriented position, instead of, you know, you can be really paying attention to what it is that you're wanting to invest in, instead of dealing with people who are narcissistic. Okay, like I was saying before. So that's good. All right. You could have been gaining the knowledge that you needed in order to really kind of feel that you could be moving forward confidently. Okay. You know, really recognizing that you're receiving the access that you're desiring of within the knowledge that you have to lead yourself out of those difficult situations. Okay. You could be moving forward independently and having less fear of cooperation or corruption. Okay. Less fear of corruption. I can't even talk right now. What I said a second ago. So less fear of corruption, okay, and illusionary dynamics, okay, and you could be moving forward in a way where you are recognizing your strengths and looking at things in a much more peaceful way instead of focusing on the potential for negative, okay. Yeah, you could be recognizing the warning signs, but not, you know, no longer denying them and taking the action that you know that you're needing to in order to shift or alter the influence that they have on you, okay. All right, you could be recognizing that you are safe and guarded from certain toxic or unhealthy influence, and what had been trying to keep you in a position of lack. Excuse me. All right. There could have been periods of guilt, remorse, or regret, but you could be recognizing that you are, you know, really kind of leveling up into a position where you are feeling lit up within you, and within your relationships and the intention that you have during any given situation. Okay. Okay, you could be having victory over negative people's or groups of people's intentions. Okay. And we have determined, forceful, emotional, intuitive, powerful, passionate, exciting, magnetic. Okay, so you could be moving forward in a way where you are no longer relying on other people's influence to get you where it is that you're wanting to go, but kind of taking the steps that you know that you're needing to. You could be recognizing the people who are false in your life, who are copying certain aspects of your energetic expression, and possibly trying to like kind of utilize your power or siphon your energy. You could be seeing much more obviously like what is, you know, what it is that you're needing to get away from. Okay. Yeah, you could be elevating and aligning and, you know, coming to a much more fruitful position. You're, you could be recognizing how other people, like I said, could be trying to falsify themselves or even your energy. Okay, and you could be recognizing the difference between what energy you are expressing and what those people who are falsifying themselves are expressing. Okay, so you could be feeling that you can lead yourself into whatever it is that you're meant to be doing and feel confident, while recognizing that people who are falsifying themselves are really kind of holding on to negative and in a more unstable energetic expression at any given time. Okay. You could be aware of people who are, you know, let me see, kind of smitten in a certain way, or, you know, paying a little too much close attention to you. And emotionally, you know, what's the word? Dysregulated, I guess. Okay, so you could be kind of recognizing whose attention is on you and who isn't acting exactly as they should, like who doesn't really have control of their own sense of self, and who is kind of watching from afar or paying too much attention to you. Okay, you can be recognizing certain trickery, manipulation, or mind games, but at this point you are, you know, leveling up and no longer allowing for the confusion and confusing qualities to get your attention or have your focus, but you're moving forward towards what you feel would be, you know, bringing more abundance into your life. Okay. You could be recognizing that your energy is kind of like, it could be like otherworldly in a certain way, and you could be no longer being influenced by other people's negative intentions. Okay. And you could be focused more on what it is that you're wanting to bring into your life instead of feeling you know, isolated. You could be feeling like you're able to be creative and inspired within your own energy instead of, you know, being influenced by other people's negative intentions. You could be really, what's the word I'm looking for? Let me see. Motivated. There you go. Well, that. So yeah, you could be feeling much more motivated than you had been. Okay, in certain situations, where you could have been feeling drained. Okay, you could be feeling like you're adapting and navigating through in a way that you could be recognizing you're making smart moves. You could be confident within your communication and having a greater feeling of being energized. Okay. Yeah, you can be feeling like you're like cool, calm, and collected instead of being affected by other people's negativity. That would be creating a dis-ease within you. Okay. Somebody could be wanting to move forward towards what they feel is alluring. There could be some type of phone call or messages that could be being presented. Somebody could be wanting to be vulnerable. You could have some type of shocking truth coming in. And there could be this awareness of, you know, somebody really kind of wanting to be a role model, no longer playing games, moving forward towards healing and mending certain bonds. Okay, somebody could be wanting to be more friendly and helpful and reliable. Oh, and they could be aligning within themselves in certain ways as well. Really kind of ready to take intentional, make intentional moves. Okay. They could be recognizing how there was negativity put on a situation that was really taking away from, you know, the true potential, and it could have been creating more chaos. Okay, so at this point, somebody could be paying attention to the divine guidance that they're receiving. Look at that. With those cards. And so somebody could be, you know, paying attention to the divine guidance that they're receiving and really elevating into this position. Okay. They're paying attention to their intuition instead of the chaos magic that other people have been trying to put on them, and creating a balance within their truth, within themselves, and their environment. Okay, so instead of feeling like somebody is insecure or doubting themselves, they are moving forward confidently in you know, a friendly way, like I said. Okay, but I'm gonna go. I started feeling antsy. I don't know what's going on with my nose as soon as I do a reading. Somebody's got a runny nose. It's not me. Anyway. Oh. Jeez. Okay, now I go back to bed or something. We got slow connection right here. Oh my gosh, my nose. Let me see what this one is really quick. What's the news? Oh, we got a cleanse going on. Okay, so somebody could be ridding themselves of negativity, detoxing and purifying. Oh, and we got ready to move forward towards a dedicated partnership. Okay, pretty cool. My nose. Okay, somebody could have been going through different highs and lows, feeling hot and cold about a situation, but that could be at this point wanting to act with some type of urgency. All right. Oh, we got a new boo. So yeah, somebody could be wanting to, bring in a new desired relationship dynamic. Acting with urgency. What 5 cards do we need to know? So we got 2. Here's another one and another one. Oh, there's that one. Shit. Okay. Somebody could be really taking themselves. Okay, so somebody could be kind of having certain proof of false people in their life. Okay, they could be taking their energy away from relationship dynamics with fake friends, two-faced, or hidden people with hidden intentions, and they could be really kind of wanting to move forward towards a relationship dynamic that they're wanting to reconcile within. Okay, so somebody could be really kind of drawing their energy back and kind of realigning with where it is that they're wanting to initiate forward at this time. Okay, yeah, somebody could be paying more attention to what they're wanting to bring into their life, what they're wanting to invest in for the long haul, and they could have been creating awarenesses of certain betrayal that they know that they're needing to get out from underneath. Okay, oh, we got graduate and level up. That's funny. So yeah, somebody could be really wanting to level up and move forward more confidently. Okay, lessons learned and acquired wisdom. All right, somebody could have been dealing with certain mental distress or heavy emotions, but at this point they've gotten the evidence that they needed to. There could have been some type of exposure, and they could have recognized, helped somebody to see the different highs and lows in a situation, but like I said, they could be wanting to get to a more positive position. Okay, there could have been toxic pride or expectations. Okay, somebody could have been really kind of falsifying themselves in some type of way, but somebody's wanting to move forward towards what they can feel passionate and romantic about, instead of falsifying themselves or disregarding other people's falsities. Okay, we got karmic right there. So yeah, there could have been somebody with, flighty type of energy or unpredictable intentions. Okay, but at this point, somebody is going to be, defying norms, going against expectations, and moving forward towards what it is that they're really wanting to create more intentionally. They could have, recognized certain karmic relationships or lessons, and somebody is cutting through illusions, detaching from ego, having greater self-awareness, and could be really feeling spiritually awakened and aligned. Okay. There we go. So yeah, somebody could be up, wanting to initiate. They could have had some type of sudden realization, feeling inspired. They could be recognizing the drama, okay, that they could have been surrounding themselves by, felt like clownish in certain ways, okay, but at this point they could be wanting to move forward with certain epiphanies, and they could be focused on, it says my boo, and seeing each other openly. Okay, somebody could be really wanting to move forward with what they feel is meaningful for them, and, you know, leave behind what is no longer in alignment. Okay, we got the cleanse right there again. So somebody could be detoxing and getting ready to spill the beans. Okay, express their truth or their secrets. And they could have been holding themselves back based on other people being focused on them, but at this point they could be feeling that there's some type of deadline they're wanting to meet, and they could be really reminiscing and missing someone. Okay, there could be some type of turning point. Okay, somebody's aware of, you know, the good things that are coming in, the shift in their life, and they're really kind of feeling fed up with what they've been dealing with previously. We got fed up to swept up. Okay, so somebody could be really wanting to move forward in a way that they can confidently express their feelings instead of holding themselves back or restrict themselves. Okay, yeah, somebody could have been feeling chained or bound or weighed down. They could have been dealing with love bombing situations, but they could be, you know, really wanting to focus more on a situation that they've been keeping to themselves and create a greater sense of harmony, balance, peace, and happiness within themselves and their life. Okay, what else is there? Just a tiny little bit because this keeps going. Alright, yeah, somebody could be somebody could be really lusting for you know, this truly balanced relationship dynamic, okay, where they can openly pour themselves into a situation, okay, a dedicated partnership. Somebody could have been, you know, focusing more on surface pleasures that had helped, you know, had led them off their path, okay? And at this point, somebody's knowing what they're wanting to separate themselves from in order to move forward towards, you know, true connection, okay? Somebody is going to be acting with urgency. They could be feeling distress, and they're wanting to have a heart-to-heart, okay, deep conversation, being blunt and honest with intimate discussions, okay? Somebody could be recognizing their true desire, the pull that they have, and they could be ready to initiate, okay? They could have been tiptoeing while researching the situation, but at this point they're recognizing, you know, that they're wanting to move forward towards an important person that is irreplaceable and playing an essential role in their life. Okay, they could be wanting to explore after having numbed their feelings and energy. Feels like there's another card right there. And they could be wanting to express their truth, live in the moment, and it says today right there. Yeah, somebody could be wanting to initiate with their truth in the present. Okay, wow. Well. Hopefully this helped. I'll probably be back on later. Okay. Have a good day.